Alright, hello and welcome back to Let's Play yet another, just kidding. This is a follow-up to, versus Top Gun. So, I said earlier that there was a Game Boy Advance game that kind of really reminded me of versus Top Gun. Well, turns out it's not a Top Gun game at all. It's... Super Hornet FA-18F. And I gotta admit, even though Game Boy Advance games should probably not ever be blown up to be this big, it really holds over. And I mean, even though the text is really big, seemingly right here, oh, Saddam Hussein, definitely a game from the 90s. But anyway, even though you can see that, even though the text is like so big and the textures aren't quite as clear, I mean, it's still kind of reminiscent of a PlayStation game, because I mean, if you fire up a PlayStation game, look at it, I mean, the text is actually kind of big. And I will say this, I mean, Game Boy Advance games take on a whole new character when you actually play them on like a nice, good screen, because the Game Boy Advance, it had a decent screen for its time, but it was not a good screen on an absolute sense. So, just like versus Flight Top Gun Eagle, there's a lot of stuff you need to be aware of. Actually, just kidding, versus Top Gun Flight Eagle, all you had to do was like shoot stuff and move. This game, did you see that? You have to locate your landing. Oh, it just went back. That's great. Yeah, I have no idea how to do this. And I think that's what really ruined this as a game for me as a kid. I had no idea how to play this, and it was my brother's game anyway. I never really liked it, but it's just kind of interesting to like go back and revisit games like this and still think they're bollocks. But dang. And you see that little cinematic screen, and you can still kind of see it with the pressing left and right lets you see backwards. It's still, I mean, I will say this, it is an awesome looking game. And I mean, you play this into your Game Boy Advance and it's pretty cool. What happens if you fly upside down? Nothing good, I see. Oh, it has auto stabilizers. You can't even destroy yourself like that. And it's even got the little joystick in the middle, dang. I will say this, even though you can like not control this game at all, it looks amazing. Although I feel like a lot of that like inability to control thing is mostly because it's a Game Boy Advance game. You've got like 2 buttons that you can go with. Hey. So you have to control throttle by pressing B and then up or down or something. And right now it's getting pretty beefy because I should not have been slowing down like that. And I'm not entirely sure how you do your missiles. Try pressing both of them at the same time. Yeah. There we go. That's... You have to do auto again? I have no idea. Oh, okay. It's as simple as pressing B and holding left and right to cycle through. I mean, Game Boy Advance has a lot of things going for it, but the number of buttons, not going for it so much. And, I mean, that's kind of a weird thing, especially, too, when you realize that, like, a lot of Game Boy Advance was meant to, be sort of Super Nintendo ports. So, when you take away, like, 2 buttons, you only give it 2 buttons. Now, not every Super Nintendo game really needed all 4 buttons. That's kind of a dirty secret of things. But it doesn't really seem like you really lose anything, or you really gain anything by only having 2 buttons. I mean, maybe you emphasize the simplicity, but... I mean, what are you doing, harkening back to the Nintendo game days? Maybe it's like kind of a throwback to the old Game Boy, but I don't know, it just seems a little baffling. Otherwise, well, this looks like an amazing game. Again, no idea what I'm doing, and every gauge seems to be ticking down nicely, waiting for me to lose. Well, that was FA-18 Strike Hornet Fire Eagle G7. And it's kind of interesting to see this game, like, just so close to versus Top Gun Eagle Konami, and just see how they kind of, like, compare gameplay-wise. Like, one's ridiculously simple, looks basic, the other one looks amazing, crazy complex. Well, on that note, this cat's got a scat.